One of the biggest mistakes that killed my energy levels and enthusiasm for life, as well as my motivation and overall happiness, was to be ungrateful for what I already have. And this is a great reminder for all of us. It doesn't mean to be complacent and never seek to do better, to achieve more in our lives. Rather, it means that in our pursuit of achieving more and achieving a high level in every area of life, we cannot stop reflecting and being grateful for how far we've already come, for the blessings that Allah has already given us. So gratitude and complacency are not an either or. Being goal-oriented versus being happy with what you have is not an either or. Rather, it's something that you can do at the same time. We should be grateful for how far we've already come and what Allah has already given us while we continue to pursue excellence, because Allah has also prescribed excellence in all things. So if we look at the hadith and of course the ayah from the Quran where Allah says, if you're grateful, Allah will give you more, but if you're ungrateful, the punishment is surely severe. Likewise, there's a hadith which is that Allah has prescribed excellence in all things. So if we just follow the deen, we realize that we want to always be pursuing excellence for the sake of Allah and because we're intrinsically driven to do it. But on top of that, we must be grateful for what we already have. Otherwise, our motivation is going to go down. We're going to be depressed, unhappy, unenthusiastic, and that's part of the punishment in this life for ingratitude. So don't be that person who's constantly just thinking to the future like, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when. No, you're never going to be happy if that's your mindset. No matter how much you achieve, even if you achieve all your goals, you're just going to be focused on the next goal. No, instead, be happy for what you already have and pursue your next goal so that you're happy when you achieve your next goal and you're happy today and you're more motivated and grateful and enthusiastic throughout the entire process. Now, I'm not telling you to ignore your problems. You should spend 80% of your time focused on the positive things you're achieving in the future, the positive things you already have, and spend 20% of your time focusing on your problems, or maybe even using fear of negative consequences in the future to scare yourself into not being lazy. Look, there's always a balance to all things. In the Quran, Allah talks about heaven and Allah talks about hell. Hell motivates you to push away from something negative, and heaven motivates you to pull towards something positive. So I'm not saying that you should neglect either of those things. Rather, let's look at the wisdom that Allah has given us in the Quran by using both and use both to motivate ourselves. But what I found is focusing on gratitude to Allah, as Allah has told us in Surah Ibrahim, is one of the keys to happiness and success. And when you're grateful, Allah will always give you more. So the best way to achieve your next goal is to actually be grateful for what Allah has already given you today.